More benefits from moving beyond your comfort zone? Yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. We are revisiting John Matone's Law number 36, a comfort zone is a disease. This time with a twist. And we got a great guest to do that twist with us. Let's put it that way. So this is Rich and Maikel with Mainline Executive Coaching ACT, ACT. That is take action. We got to act. When you're a leader, you got to act. That's right? Okay. And it also stands for and cultural transformation. So as a leader, you must act. And as a leader, you must act and put yourself out there. Take chances. Be open to what is outside the comfort zone for new opportunities and new rewards. We're happy to have with us today an entrepreneur. This is the first entrepreneur we've actually done here. You know that, Rich? We've done.
Yes. Yep.
This is the first businessman who knows how to act and get outside that comfort zone. Someone who I have known for many years and admire greatly. Let me introduce to you Al Kline. So we've done a little bit of coaching ourselves, you and I together. Hey, Al, tell us about yourself and your business and where you're from.
Sure. Like I mentioned previously in a precursor to our meeting right now, I've had coaching with Maikel dating back almost 15 plus years. And prior to that, probably about 10 years prior to that, I had started an appraisal company called the Appraisal Group. And so I've had my own company now for about 26 years. And when I started it out, to be quite honest, guys, my background in establishing and running a company was pretty limited. I kind of learned on the go. And what I do, my company does real estate appraising. We do residential and commercial property appraising. And, it's like a lot of people think, oh my God, you start a company and then you're going to make a ton of money and everything just kind of falls into place. It doesn't work that way. And it takes over a long period of time. I discovered that there are certain things that you have to learn en route. And at some point, when you finally figure it out, it's like, God bless America. This is perfect. And that's what happened to me. I started out with a company. I had 25, 30 employees, and primarily employees, not using contractors or anything like that. And like I mentioned, the kind of work that I do is real estate appraising. Primarily commercial related. It was about 3 years ago. I decided to simplify not only my business, but my personal life. And that simplification has been tremendous to a point that an office building that I own in Maple Grove, Minnesota, I use it, but I don't necessarily have to be there. What I've done, I've transitioned employees into contractors. And with the advent of the internet and the access to information online, oh my God, I can be in Mexico, I can be in Florida, I can be in Minnesota, I can be at my lake place. Doesn't make any difference. I can run my company. So I've simplified it. I've got like 10 contractors which I use, and the company's never been more profitable. So it's taken me 25 plus years to really hone this company. Now I have it down. And actually, now I have overtures of at least one individual looking to acquire my company.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that towards the end of that. So, Rich, you got a question for Al here.
Well, I do. Apparently you had an experience that happened a few years ago that changed your life. And it had something to do with an award that didn't quite go the way that you wanted it to go. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it actually dates back into like the early 1990s. In my field, there are two professional designations. One is called an SRA for residential property appraising, and the second one is called an MAI for commercial property appraising. And it's a big deal for both of these. You get any one of these designations, you're well positioned in the industry, you're well respected in the industry. And so to acknowledge when I get the designation, they have like an award type thing in my professional organization. They're probably two or 300 people at this gathering dinner type thing. And they have a dinner and then they introduce the people that are getting the awards. And there were actually several people. And I just happened to follow after an individual who was getting his commercial designation, which is a step up from the residential at that point in time. And oh my God, this guy was so fluent. He was just unbelievable. He charismatic and he talked for like 5 or 10 minutes straight. And I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm the next one going up. And I'm going, number one, I didn't realize I had to say anything. So I'm watching this, and the individual gets this professional award. And then they call me up. They say, Al Kline, we'd like to give you the SRA professional designation. I walk up to the front. They give me the award. I went to say something, and I froze. I couldn't say a damn thing. I'm not kidding. It was humiliating. It was my family, my friends, 200-300 people in my industry. And it's like my tail between my legs, I go slinking back to my table. And it was just overwhelmingly, it was just a gut feeling when it just like a panic thing. Like I wasn't prepared, and I was definitely out of my comfort zone. So anyway, that for a lot of people, that may have just kept them down to where they were at. But for me, it triggered me to become a good speaker, because I knew in 3 to 4 years down the road, I would be up on that platform again to receive a commercial designation, the MAI, the one that the guy before me got, that type of thing. And so instead of just hunkering back and feeling sorry for myself or whatever, I got on fire. And I did whatever I could do. I joined Toastmasters. I went to Dale Carnegie. I put myself in speaking situations that I never would have done before, and I became better. So the thing is, 3 or 4 years down the road, I qualify for the MAI professional designation. They have another big thing. This time there's like 400 to 500 people. And again, my family, my friends, business acquaintances, and whatever. This time I was prepared. I was prepared by all the work I'd done in the previous 3 to 4 years, but also I practiced in front of a camera. I did, for about 5 or 10 minutes. I practiced every day. So when I walked up there, man, I was on fire. I mean, seriously. And I gave the speech of a lifetime. I mean, it was unbelievable. And after I gave that speech and I sat down, people were coming up to me saying, Al, that was the best speech we've ever heard in the history of getting out designations. And so it just showed I got out of my comfort zone. But you had to work at it. It's not like it just comes to you. When you step out, okay, now you step out, now you have to act, which is what I did. And another thing, one final epilogue to this whole thing is that the individual that actually was the one before me when I first initially froze when I was going to give my speech, about a year ago, he was applying for a job with my company. So it just shows how things turn around over time.
This is a great story. It's and I love it because it takes something that just could have been nothing, could have been blah, could have been worse than that. It's like, now I really feel bad about myself. And I think it's that same kind of adventurous, courageous, take it on, let's do it, let's get better at it, attitude that you have taken with getting to be a better speaker that you've done throughout your time being a business owner. Let's just keep pushing it. Let's keep moving ahead. Let's keep making things happen. Let's not get complacent about it. I remember talking to you many times on the phone going, I just got to get this done. I just got to get the process right. I got to get the right people in the right place. You were always just like jazzed and ready to go and hammer away at it to make it really happen. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about with business leaders. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing that sometimes, like you said, people just don't realize that kind of deep down dig in tenacity and character that's required to create success. I think that's tremendous.
Yeah, you can choose to have just a normal, safe life, or you can risk and possibly fail, and also possibly win beyond your wildest imagination. And so if you don't take that step and take a risk, you'll never know. You'll never know. And there's a saying by Teddy Roosevelt that I just remembered, and that's kind of what I just said. I mean, until you put yourself out there and take that risk, yeah, you might fail. However, you might succeed beyond your wildest imagination.
All right, very good. Yeah. Then there was something else that happened to you. There was something else that happened recently, just again out of left field. Share with us that experience. It's kind of uncomfortable, but But I'm telling
Yeah.
you, guys have got to take this on, especially the guys that are listening.
Yeah, I think it's really important for guys over 40 to be aware of what I'm about to say, because it's very commonplace in man over 40 years of age. And I'm a family of 10 kids. I've got 5 older brothers. One, unfortunately, has already passed away. And so I'm the youngest of 6 brothers, 10 kids in the family.
Wow.
I'm watching all my family age. You know, they're all ahead of me, and I'm watching my brothers, and I'm also watching what kind of physical ailments that may come down the pike. And unfortunately, 2 of my older brothers developed prostate cancer, and each of them respectively had their prostates taken out, and you know, there's been no reoccurrence of cancer, which is a beautiful thing. Here's the deal. On August 2nd of 2020, I went for a regular checkup type thing because my PSA count, that's what they use to dictate whether your prostate's healthy or not healthy, had gone up a little bit. And so they'd taken a biopsy, and like we're having a video conference right now, I got a call from my doctor, and he says, Al, I got to tell you, we found cancer in your prostate.
Oh, man.
And yeah, and so it's like, for me, it wasn't shocking, but to hear the word cancer, it's like, oh my God, what the hell? How could this happen to me? And it really changed my life. It woke me up, and so I started doing, not immediately, because it takes a while to kind of absorb what just was being told to you. But after a period of time, I met with 2 urologists, a radiologist, and looked at all my options. And all the options that were shared with me were involved either, you know, radiating the prostate or taking out the prostate. Each one would likely be successful because they told me, actually, my prostate looks very healthy, and the cancer actually is contained within the prostate itself. But there are side effects, and they're not good side effects. One being incontinence, the other being sexual related. And I got to tell you, I didn't like either one of those scenarios. And so I was very proactive, going online, speaking to the 2 urologists I went and spoke to, et cetera. And each of them respectively are saying, no, here's what you got. Yeah, there's a new radiation treatment, but we don't know if it's going to be any different or anything like that. And I just was not satisfied, because they were all relating back to the same situation, like, oh my God, they're going to take it out and I'm going to have issues like this. I went online, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I shouldn't say out of nowhere, but it popped up. It's a book called All About the Prostate. And I recommend this book to, and I'm not promoting this, I have nothing to do with it, but any guy over 40 should buy this book, All About the Prostate, because this could, get this, by age 80, 80% of men will have prostate cancer. 80% by age 80. They're not gonna die of it. They just have it. They don't even know they have it. And I may not have found out about it either unless I'd been proactive going to the doctor. But the point being is this: I read that book. I went and challenged the second urologist, who was, you know, trained at the Mayo Clinic. He's done this for 20 years, 2,000 patients and everything like that. He's saying, Al, your prostate is so damn healthy, we got to take it out. And I'm going, but I don't understand this. If it's so healthy, and as a matter of fact, two different MRIs that they did showed no evidence of cancer, none at all. But they're saying, well, it's in there, so we got to take that, you know what, out. And I just was not willing to accept that, and I kept pushing and pushing, and finally, the second urologist, and he's a good urologist, he's down to earth, but he's been trained to do what he does, and he's probably very good at it. He said, well, Al, there is one thing that has come up over the past couple of years. And what they do, they send the biopsy to a clinic that specializes in genomic study, and they'll actually look at the cancer that I have, and they'll identify how advanced it is, or whatever the situation might be. And it's not a cheap test, but it actually was covered by health coverage. Anyway, so it took about 3 weeks for this to come back. And in the meantime, the urologist was telling me, Al, your prostate's too healthy. We got to take it out. I mean, it was that kind of a thing. Anyway, I was sitting on my couch in my living room waiting for the call from my doctor. And And he called like 5 minutes before the expected call. And I take the call, and he says to me, Al, I got good news for you. And I can't believe it. He said the study came back, this genomic study, which is something relatively new, but it's right on, baby. I mean, it is, because prostate cancer is very slow moving, that type of thing. He said the study came back, and they said, based upon your biopsy, there's a 0.7 of 1%, 0.71%, that in the next 5 years, that this would turn into anything. And there's a 1.5% in 10 plus years that this would turn into anything. And I'm going, you got to be kidding me. So why would I? They're telling me my prostate looks healthy. I feel fantastic. I have no symptoms. And then he went on to say that, they said, well, by the way, if we do take out your prostate, there's a 20% chance it may come back. So why in the world would I ever have considered doing it? So I got out of my comfort zone. I could have accepted what was being told to me, and I chose not to do it. The likelihood of anything ever happening. Oh, and that's, by the way, that's with me doing nothing, not being proactive, and what it's done. I've gone out and I've lost, 20 pounds. I've got onto a more healthy regimen of nutrition, and I'm taking supplements, etc. All these things that will even inhibit and possibly even mitigate the cancer that's contained within my prostate.
You know what I love about your story, Al?
Yeah.
Here's what I love about your story. It's that character that you have of confronting adversity, of not letting the adversity get you down. Because, adversity wants to push us back into the comfort zone. In fact, it wants to keep making that comfort zone smaller and smaller and more restricted. You've not allowed that to happen in your life. You've been courageous. You've been brave. You've been able to take a look. Let's go take a look at the hard things. Let's go take a look at doing the difficult things. Let's go and do that. And that's what I wanted to bring you on today, to share your stories about. Obviously, this is not a medical show, but it is about character. It's about character with leaders and leadership, and not letting adversity happen to us, not letting life happen to us, but rather going out there, pushing back, and making life happen as much as we can on our terms. That's the great thing about your story here, Al.
Well, it is. And again, I have a saying that I say a lot, almost every day. And whenever I say it, I become motivated. It's very simply, I act boldly and unseen forces come to my aid. It's like you take that one step out, baby. Just take it out, take a little bit of risk. And all of a sudden, all aid from all different directions, people that you may not have ever met before come into your life, or just that one individual that out of nowhere makes a difference in the curvature or the direction of your life. So to me, it's just, taking a risk, living life with a risk, and having fun.
That's beautiful. I couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much. All right. Glad you came on. I'm glad we did this. Thank you so very much, Al.
You're welcome.
Podcast with you today. So, all right, Rich, sometimes you need a little bit of help to get out there, get out there and get past the comfort zone.
Absolutely.
So tell the folks what it is they can do if they want to get a hold of us and get a little bit of help here.
Okay. I'm just going to say something first real quick. For all you leaders out there that are listening or will listen to this podcast, if you're sitting in your comfort zone, if you think that everything's going wonderful and you kind of kick back, revenue's happening, you've got great people on your team, I got to tell you that clock's ticking. And if you're sitting in your comfort zone and you're not ready to be, if you're not agile enough, if you're afraid of that change, if you're not using the people around you, you're going to get caught in a hellstorm that is not going to be fun to get out of. And I can tell you, I've seen this time and time again with other leaders. It's happened to me. And this comfort zone that we're talking about, and some of the stories that Al's talked about, is being proactive, being ready to make those changes as it comes. I was told years ago by a very great leader, great supervisor of mine, and one thing that I've always, and I learned this early on in my career when things went south because of being in that comfort zone and having to dig my way out of it, literally changed overnight. If it's not broke, break it and learn how to fix it. Don't have the attitude if it's not broke, everything's okay. I'm not going to do anything. And I don't mean literally break it, but have a backup plan. Be agile. Be ready to move on. And coaches can help you. We can help you. Maikel and I can help you learn how to get out of that comfort zone and stay out of it. Literally, stay away from that comfort zone. It's a bad place to be for a leader. It's a deadly place to be for a leader. It can kill your career. It can kill your organization. It is not a good place to be. So if you want to find out more about that, hit us up. M. Bailey at intelligentleadershipec.com, R. Barron at intelligentleadershipec.com, and richbarron.intelligentleadershipec.com is our website, which is going to be changing names here real quick, and we'll let you know what that's going to be. But once again, I hope you learned something today. Thank you, Al, very much. Awesome stories and awesome examples from a great leader. And so once again, hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you and take care.
All right. All the best. Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you for joining us. If you have any suggestions or comments or something you'd like to hear about on a future podcast, email us at mbailey@intelligentleadershipec.com or rbarron@intelligentleadershipec.com, or go to our website, richbarron.intelligentleadershipec.com. Once again, thank you and take care.